I want to ask you a question that completely changed the way I think about health, performance, and leadership. What if the skill isn't the problem? What if you already trained enough? What if you already have the strength? What if the talent is there? What if the knowledge is there as well? But when it matters the most, you simply can't access it. I spent years, more than 15 years, working alongside some of the best performers, athletes in the world. And I've watched strength coaches conditioning the body. I've watched position coaches condition skills. Nutritionists fuel performance. Athletic trainers supporting the recovery. Clinical and sports psychologists strengthen the mental and emotional side of performance. Every one of those roles matters tremendously. But after my own heart blockage, I started asking a different question. Who is conditioning the internal state we perform from? The internal state that shows up every time we make a decision, or have a difficult conversation, or step onto a field, walk into a boardroom, or respond to life's biggest challenges. Because I've realized something. Your results are not determined only by what you know. They are shaped by what you can access and how you respond when pressure arrives and when you need to show up. And the first person I saw this wasn't in an athlete, it was in me. I had studied the body for my entire life. People came to me to help improve their performance. But when life became really emotionally demanding, I didn't have access to the version of myself I believed I was. And that was shocking to me. I became defensive. I started to over-explain myself. I rushed. I ignored what I was feeling. I said yes when my heart was quietly saying no. The knowledge was there, trust me, but access wasn't. And that realization changed everything. Last week, I shared that I had confused strength with resistance. I had trained my body to become stronger. But without realizing it, I had also trained myself to resist everything and almost everyone. And from the outside, I of course looked very strong, but the inside, I had become incredibly rigid and stiff. That's when I asked myself a question that has stayed with me ever since. What if internal flexibility could be trained the same way we train physical strength? That question became the beginning of something now I call internal conditioning. And before you think, Barbara, isn't this psychology? No, it is not. At least not the way I will teach it and I see it. Psychology is incredibly valuable. I know it, and you probably as well. It helps us understand our thoughts, our emotions, behavior, and mental health. Internal conditioning asks a different question. How do we intentionally train the internal state we bring into every moment? How do we practice becoming more aware, more connected, more intentional before pressure decides for us? For me, that training combines voice, movement, breath, sound vibration, and performance coaching. Those elements. Because here's what I've learned. Most of us don't need more information. We need greater access into deeper layers of us. Access to our courage, access to our voice, access to our intuition, access to the version of ourselves we already know resonates within us. Think about an athlete you have seen recently. They've taken the same maybe shot 10,000 times. The skill is there. The body knows exactly what to do. Now there are 3 seconds left. The championship is online. Everyone is watching. Their breathing changes. Their body tightens. Their thoughts speed up. Did they suddenly become less talented? No. The talent didn't disappear. Access to it did. We hear commentators say things like, "Oh my gosh, he froze," or "That's what pressure does to you," or "He will just have to get over it." What? No. Or one of my favorites is like, "Oh, he will have to figure it out." The same happens in business. You know your numbers, you know your strategy, then someone challenges you in one meeting. Your body activates, you become stiff, you become defensive, you over-explain. Did your intelligence go for a walk? Did your intelligence disappear? No. Your internal state changed what your intelligence couldn't access. Now think about your relationships. How many times have you actually walked away from a conversation thinking, "That was not what I wanted to say," or "I wish I had handled that differently"? Was it because you didn't know better? Or because in that moment you couldn't access your best self? That's the question that fascinates me, because I believe our greatest opportunities, our relationships, our leadership, our health, and our, of course, performance are influenced by the state we repeatedly come from and live in daily. My heart blockage forced me to ask one of the hardest questions of my life. How much of my life had I spent with everything I needed already inside me, but I was unable to access it? Maybe internal alignment isn't something we find, but something we condition. Condition our ability to return to it again and again at any time. So this week, I would like to leave you with one simple exercise. Think about one moment during the past week, or even the last few days, when you knew exactly what to do, but didn't, or you knew exactly what you needed to say, but stayed quiet, or you had the ability, but couldn't access it when the pressure arrived. Now ask yourself this question. What state was I operating from? Not what was wrong with me. No. Not even why did I fail. Instead, what was happening inside me that shaped the way I responded? Because here's what I believe. That state you repeatedly live in shapes the decisions you make. The decisions you make shape your relationships. They shape your opportunities. They shape your health. They shape your leadership. They ultimately shape the body and life you create. Awareness by itself doesn't change your life. But awareness gives you something incredibly powerful, a choice. A choice how you want to internally condition yourself. A choice where you and your old conditioning used to decide for you. Now, when you change how you respond, you begin changing all of your outcomes. Maybe you finally speak up. Stop becoming defensive. Maybe you set the boundaries you've avoided for years, and you will become flexible with boundaries. Maybe you stay connected to your skill when the pressure is greatest. Maybe you become the leader your family, your team, or your business actually needs. That's where internal conditioning begins. Learning to recognize what is operating us so we can intentionally lead ourselves differently. Especially when circumstances become difficult. Next week, I'm going to show you why awareness is the first and the most important capacity of internal conditioning, and maybe the most valuable performance skill you will ever develop in the system. Until then, please take care of your heart, because nobody can do it better than you.